There's no cheap way forward in education. A well-educated nation costs money to create, and frankly, it has to be a priority. You have to invest in education, because if you invest in education, you can begin to guarantee yourself a better health system. If you invest in education, you begin to guarantee yourself the opportunity for better infrastructure and better opportunities for people. Education is the baseline for any future, for any ambitious country in the world. In the Western world, young people are changing very rapidly. The digitization of communications is an enormous thing. It's not a small thing, it's a big thing. For a young person today in the developed world to be asked to work off a blackboard with someone with chalk, for them is ridiculous. The great story, there's a wonderful, wonderful story that I love to tell, of a teacher on a Friday afternoon putting the lessons, the homework for the weekend up on the blackboard. Painstakingly, and all the children are standing there and they're copying like this, and one kid gets up from the back and he walks towards the blackboard or the whiteboard, doesn't matter, and with his mobile phone, and he goes and he photographs it. You know what happened? They took his mobile away. Now, is this kid a bad kid or a very, very smart kid? Until the world of education comes to understand that for a young person to laboriously write their homework down, when in fact all they need to do is photograph it and take it home, until the world of education becomes familiar with that and comfortable with that, it's going to struggle. Futurelab is an originator of ideas, but more importantly, it is a tester of other people's ideas. We collect ideas from the entire education community, and indeed outside the education community, of things that could work to enhance education. And then we test them, we classroom test them, we intellectually test them, and we do a report on this idea is a great idea, this idea might not work. Basically, our job is to stimulate innovation. And there's a danger, as a result of technology and as a result of innovation, of the gap between the developed and the developing world growing. On the other hand, there are opportunities for the more, what should I say, confident and imaginative aspects of the developing world, a nation like Indonesia, for example, to jump, to do an amazing, as it were, innovatory jump, and start using mobile technologies and technology generally with young people, and in fact jump straight past countries like France, Spain, the countries I would say are the slow adopters of technology. It's easier for the developing world to tear up the rule book and rethink its approach than it is for the parts of the developed world. I cannot imagine a 21st century model, or 2020 model, let's say, of education that isn't centered around digital technology. You must harness the fact that the average 5-year-old is more familiar with what they can do with this than I am. That's an asset to be grabbed, not a problem. You've got to harness the fact that 6, 7, 8-year-olds are working on keyboards and remarkably sophisticated in terms of what they've learned from quite childlike games. You must harness that as an asset, not reject it as a problem. And that, emotionally and intellectually, is the greatest single challenge for the world of education. If we allow a dislocation to occur between the world of young people and the world of teaching and learning, then what will suffer will be both. Teaching and learning will become marginalized, and young people will just walk off and do it themselves. The world of education will have to learn how to seek out and work with the assets of each individual child. Children are not just a lumpen group, and they have every child has something to offer. And the digital world offers the opportunity to individually find the asset, as it were, the asset base of each young person and develop it. I think the only interesting message is this is the first step in a long journey. There are no silver bullets. There are no quick answers. There's no one conference that's going to change education. But if you're prepared to keep talking to each other, and if you're prepared to meet every year and to review the improvements with an open mind, then yes, this is going to be a very rewarding journey.